What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make the security breach atrium. This is part 3, and in this one, we're going to be finishing off the walls of this middle floor that we had done, along with marking out this top layer with the, magenta, I guess glass perimeter. I don't know, whatever that is. Yeah, that is all. So, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alright, so to start this particular part off, we're just going to need cyan terracotta and red concrete, and we're going to do some filling up of some kind of scattered walls, but still walls nonetheless. So, pretty much, I don't want to say all red concrete and cyan terracotta, but most red concrete and cyan terracotta you're going to bring up to the same height as the rest of the walls, which I want to say the number's 12, but I don't know if that's right. Yeah, I will inform. No, it looks like it's 13, actually. Watch me still be wrong. I'm still wrong. It's 14? Great start, yeah. It's 14 up for all of the cyan terracotta, and then, again, most of the red concrete. Now, as for which red concrete you're filling, just the ones on this side here. It'd be the left side if you're looking from the stage. Obviously, you're not bringing up the ones with the panes and stuff on top already, but any of them on the right side you're leaving alone. We'll get more into that and why later, but it's not important yet to deal with, so, yeah. Again, 14 up, though, for the rest. And leave the doorways alone. Well, actually, the one doorway in the middle over here on this, front wall, you can place the red concrete above. Just make sure it is, back a block, so it's not directly on the gray, and it has that little lip. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am, for the most part. We're back at it. Yeah. I just recorded the second backrooms tour before this, so that's fun. That'll probably be out by the time this is literally seen by anybody, but, guess that is fun. The map is coming along for sure. There's a lot to it already. And earlier today I was working on level 7, which is kind of boring, but it's just a bunch of water. It is definitely terrifying, I'm not gonna lie, because I may or may not have made the ocean a little bit deeper than it needs to be. Just a tiny bit. It's only I think it's 240 blocks deep, or something like that. It's probably a little less than that, but it's around 240 blocks deep in total. So, I definitely made it go down there for sure. But, other than that, really, it's not that bad. Oh my god, okay. So, at some point, after we do some stuff here at the beginning with... Okay, there's a fly in my room. We'll end up... I think it's a fly. I didn't actually hear it, I just saw it. Which generally makes me think it's not a fly, because normally you hear the wow, wow over the buzzing. But, what was I saying? We're gonna do some general pixel art stuff, and then once all of that is done, we're gonna actually mark the top floor of D3. Since the top floor is really easy to mark. There's a couple exceptions, but other than those exceptions, it's the same as the bottom, so. Or the one we have, I guess, rather, the middle floor. I gotta bring up the cyan on this side now, and then I'm good. I think it's just 2 pillars, actually. I don't think it's anything crazy. Yeah, just these 2. That's about how I feel. Anyway. You should end up with this. Nice. Now, there is some glass pane pixel art around, specifically on the left side. We're not going to worry about that until, the end, because those are just really annoying to do. So, yeah. Get out dark oak trapdoors and head to the left side, which should be the side that we've done more on so far. We just did this wall. And you're going to be over top the gray concrete. I actually might recommend getting out gray concrete as well, just because we'll need it anyway, so. I'm going to push this gray concrete, like, to the left an additional 2 rows. So it's 3 thick in total. I said that weirdly, but you're making it 3 thick rather than pushing it. You're adding 2 rows. I don't know. I should have said adding 2 rows rather than pushing it, but extruding it. There we go. You should have this. Above it, you'll place whatever the desired amount of red concrete would be, which in this case should be 7 rows in the center row of gray. Or on top of the center row of gray. We have the pixel art on one side. Sorry. One side, but not the other. It's not on this side because I didn't have room for it to work. And the other side, I don't know if I just said whatever or if it actually, like, is not visible, but I'll inform you in a sec. Anyway, from this point, the middle 3 rows of red concrete, you'll place dark oak trapdoors open up against each of the blocks. That's not right. There we go. And yeah, it'll be a little annoying to place, but that's trapdoors for you. Can I, like, do these, whatever that means? Yeah, okay. That was a fun part. I gotta just spam click the frick out of these things. Okay, that is kind of satisfying. It's a little annoying to hear, but sometimes we have to make those sacrifices, I guess. I don't know. It should give you this. Cool. On the other side, you're pretty much doing the same thing. You just don't end up having the middle... hold on, I need to process trying to control both things at the same time. Okay, my brain was just not doing it. It's pretty much the same thing, except you're leaving the middle 3 rows open rather than filling them with red concrete. Alternatively, you can actually fill them with black concrete. I guess it might actually be smart first to push that gray in the 2 rows. Or I guess add 2 rows on the, like, outside rather than the inside. And then bring up that center row. This one is visible on the inside, by the way. I don't think I was the one who made it, actually. Which I think is why it was done that way and it wasn't done with trapdoors like I did on the other side. But, yeah. So again, 2 rows of red concrete on the center. And then I'll do 3 rows of black and then 2 more rows of red. Rather than leaving it open. There's not really a ton going on this one, but, you know, there's stuff, so we do still have to do this stuff, just not a ton of the stuff. You could also make it the same pattern with trapdoor colors that are similar. Only thing is there is red, so you'd have to be using mangrove. But you do want to get out red terracotta and white wool. And on this thing, you want to take the bottom left black concrete if you're looking at the sign from, you know, the middle of the atrium. And you're going to make these bottom 2 red terracotta going right. Above the second one, you'll place a white wool instead. Extend it right, up with a red terracotta, right one. Copy this on the opposite side of the sign. However, you're ending up taking the top right black and extending, or counting left by 1 and then replacing the next 2 with red terracotta. So you just have this gap of 1. Below the left one, you'll place a white wool, extend it left, down with a red terracotta, left, up diagonally left with a white wool. This is additional. Left 2, down diagonally left with a white wool, and then left by 3. That's all that there is to it. We can make the doors. I don't really see a reason to wait on making them, so we will make them now. Just as a general kind of check-in, the 4 on the opposite side are all the same. These 2 are a different one, but they're the same as each other. So yeah, it's not particularly anything interesting. But you want to start by getting out the following. I'd clear your inventory first for these doors. Black concrete, white concrete, polished black stone stairs, polished black stone walls, and then the following wool colors. You need red, orange, and light blue. as we do these two here, I would do both of them simultaneously just so we don't have to worry about it later. But we're going to have to make these a ton. I am warning you. So in the bottom row, you're in the center row of gray concrete for this whole thing. Along the bottom here, you're going to go left to right and just do alternating white concrete and black concrete. Or, you know, it doesn't matter which you start and end with. Just try to make them the same. Although I guess for this part, it doesn't necessarily have to be. In each one, you want to place on the left, on top of this, for this left checkerboard pattern, a polished black stone stair facing right, and on the right one, a stair facing left. Extend those in with 2 stairs facing forward, and then another stair facing into the previous stairs, which should leave you with a 4-block gap in the center, if I did my math right. Yes. You will end up copying those stairs above themselves with upside-down stairs instead, but they'll face the same way as the bottom ones. And it'll give you these, like, almost grooves in the door. You'll see these get done a bunch of different ways. This is one of them. Nice. In the center 2 rows between these stairs, I'll just place a couple of rows of polished black stone walls. As I do these, the one thing I want you to consider is that if you, especially if you have those grooves like that, you want to make sure that you're thinking about which side you're going to see it from first. So, you know, you would start from, I guess, actually Freddy's room, and then if you end up coming through, you would come through the Atrium to see this door rather than through, like, Roxy Raceway or Saloon or whatever. At least generally. On this, next up, we're going to go right to left on top of the whole polished blackstone row. And you're going to place 3 red wool, a light blue wool, and then the rest of the row will be red. Again, that is going right to left. We might as well keep going right to left, and you'll place a light blue wool on both. Red wool. Orange. 2 red, orange, red, light blue, orange, and then 3 red. Next row going right to left again, I'll place 3 red to start, orange, and then it's going to be 2 red and orange repeated until the end. So, you know, 2 red, orange, 2 red, orange, 2 red. Next row again going right to left, which is the final row will be 2 red, orange, light blue, red, orange, 2 red, orange, 2 red, and then you'll end with a light blue wool. That is the... It'd be the Glamrock Freddy door, I guess, out of the types, because it's... I guess Fazer Blast, actually. There's a Fazer Blast one, a Monty Golf one, a Roxy Raceway one. Those are the only 3 I can think of immediately. I feel like there's another one, though. Is there a daycare one? There is. Yeah, there's a daycare one. Had to really think about that. So, yeah, we can do the other side. We gotta do these not at the same time, though, because they're cringe and annoying. But, I'm gonna get rid of the 3 wool colors along with the black and white concrete. So I just have the polished black stone stairs and walls. I don't even know if we need the stairs and walls, actually. Let me confirm. We do. Yeah, okay, we do. You also, in addition, will need polished black stone, just regular. Green wool, orange wool, and purple wool. So as we do this, we're going to have to do it 3 separate times for instructions. 1 for either diagonal, because I don't know if they're the same, and then 1 for that. But even if they are the same, the diagonals, we'll just do it twice anyway, since they're so far. First thing you're going to start with is, if you fill the magenta like I did, perfect, because the polished blackstone wants to, for the bottom, it's just going to be 2 full rows at the bottom. And it's going to kind of follow the trajectory of the gray a block inside. So it's 3 on the side rows, and then it's 5 in the center here. You can hopefully kind of make out what that is. Or what I mean by that. We're going to go left to right, because I generally prefer that here. And again, we're ignoring the diagonals when I'm saying these numbers. So basically, if I say more than 3, you're just going to obviously, you know, go to the next row. But you want to start with 7 green wool. Purple. Green. Orange. Green. Next row will be purple, 2 green, orange, 2 green, purple, 2 green, 2 purple. Next row will be green, 2 purple, 2 green, purple, 2 green, purple, green, orange. Final row will be 3 green, 2 purple, 2 green, purple, green, purple, green. There's a couple of out of order signs on this as well, but we're just not going to worry about that until we actually do the details there. The next thing we're going to do is head over to this set where you have the 2, and we'll do this one next. This one is... It'll start the same as the one that we did before, so you'll have just a row of polished blackstone at the bottom this time, connecting the center gray concretes together in either side. You'll then place the weird polished blackstone stairs facing away from the gray concrete on the sides, then 2 facing directly outward, and then another one facing towards the previous stairs. Again, you'll then copy those above with upside down stairs. Wow, this atrium is really taking forever already. I know we're only 3 parts in, but like, every little detail is so much. You'll then place your polished blackstone walls in the center. And then going left to right on either one, you want to place... I think it's actually the same. You start with 7 green wool again. Purple. Green. Orange. Green. And purple, so it's 1 block further across. Next row, you will end up starting on the left with a purple. 2 green. Orange. 2 green. Purple. Wow, I'm placing so well here. 2 green. 2 purple, and then you'll end with a green. Next row, you'll go green. 2 purple. 2 green. Purple. 2 green. Purple. 2 green again, and then you'll end with an orange. Final row, start with 3 green. Then 2 purple. 2 green. I see that darn fly. No, it's a gnat, not a fly. Purple. Green. Purple. 2 green. I don't get why he, like, bothered me, went away for, like, 10 minutes, and then came back. Something. And then he's just gone again. Whatever. I don't want to know. Oh, I didn't change those either. Head to the other door here, the only one we have yet to do and fill in, which is this gray concrete one, and you'll start with the same thing you did on the other diagonal one, the 2 rows of polished blackstone at the bottom that basically follow the gray concrete block in. So again, you have the 3 on either side and then 5 in the center. Hopefully that's enough context to figure it out. Going left to right on the next row, you'll start with a green, orange, green, purple, 7 green. This is inverted, but that's fine. Okay. You'll then go on the next row, you'll do 2 purple, 2 green, purple, 2 green, orange, 2 green, purple. Next row, you'll start with an orange, green, purple, 2 green, purple, 2 green, 2 purple, green. Final row, you'll go green, purple, green, purple, 2 green, 2 purple, and then you'll end with 3 green. Yeah, I don't understand why that one's inverted, but I don't know if that's a me issue or a game thing, but I can never tell anymore. So, here's the fun part. The red concrete line that we have, which is this, I'm talking about this line right here. We're going to have to copy it again with magenta above. Now, not fully for one. And for two, I think it might be smart to do one other thing first. You're just going to need stone and smooth quartz blocks, and I will get out red concrete because I think it'll be nice to get that out of the way. I had a painting there. It's gone. That's... It's awesome is what that is. Anyway, we're going to head over to the right side here. And I'm going to bring each red concrete here up by 3. So... Correction, up by 4, not 3. For those of you who have... somebody in my server was talking about it, or in the Discord. The paintings apparently, like, have been glitching and disappearing, and I hadn't noticed it, but I have noticed it now, because I know for a fact there was a painting on that wall. And you know what's not there right now? That's right, a painting. So I'm going to have to go probably through the entire map and check every single painting. That's cool. Moving on from that. The smooth quartz blocks here. I want to make sure before I say this that it is every single one and that there's not an exception. The only exception is the one closest to the stage side over there. But all other smooth quartz blocks are bringing up by 14. Like so, and it'll make it the same height as the walls we already have. I guess you can also do the same with the stone if you'd like. I didn't specify that because, again, the ending is weird. Basically, once you would reach the final smooth quartz you're bringing up, that's where you would stop. I'll explain that more in a second. I'm going to make that a separate step. But... okay. I think that was tall enough. Yep. So, as I mentioned, this final smooth quartz row here, closest to the stage side, everything behind that, which would be, you know, in that direction, the stone, at least the stone, is getting brought up by also 14. That front panel we'll leave alone for a second, and we'll also have to fill over the top. The area within this is not going to be done... It'll be part of probably Saloon. And I'm pairing it with Saloon specifically because Saloon is actually the thing that matters for this. Oh, hey, look, it's FNAF 1? No, 3. I don't know why I thought that was 1. I saw the tough, like, or the gray walls, and I immediately thought 1, but no, that's 3. But what I was trying to say before I interrupted myself is... because of the fact that I'm not done Saloon, I have yet to make the walls in this area. Because basically, if I lined it up, or I tried to one day, I think it was on a stream, I like mathematically lined it up in my head, and it just didn't work. So I'm essentially instead going to just not make that area until Saloon is done, because I can mark that wall with Saloon, and then go from there. And if it ends up still being a little bit wrong, I can still move the wall on the other side. They don't have to perfectly line up, because you can't go through those doors anyway. But... yeah. I do wish you did in Ruin. That'd be kind of a cool way to get out of Saloon. And then you could also, you know, see the Atrium. I'm mad we didn't see the Atrium in Ruin. But, oh well. That is what it is. I'm lazy, so boink. Should give you this. On the side here where you have the red concrete, you're going to... if you're on, like, the outside of the map here, you're going to take the bottom smooth quartz here and extend over with 3 stone. You'll then go forward diagonally, right, forward diagonally, right 2, then right with a smooth quartz block, then 6 stone, forward diagonally, right, and then you'll end with a smooth quartz block. That's your diagonal. Yes, I know it doesn't exactly diagonal very well, but that's besides the point. You're going to bring this all the way up until you're at the same height as the rest of the stuff. Which is 9 up if you want numbers. And then we'll do the final section, which will give us a nice starting point for the magenta. Unfortunately, the magenta is stupid and dumb, so... yeah. There we go. At this far, like, back, I guess front side actually, closest to the atrium, you can take the first, like, stone row before the diagonals at all, and you can just end up bringing it up to the height of the smooth courts for now. It should be 5 rows if I'm correct. 4 and 5. Nice. This diagonal is so weird, but I'll try to manage here. So the front row of stone, well, I guess this particular, out of this next row of 5, the front 3 you're going to extend up with 4 stone each, so it'll look like that. I guess it'll actually be the back 3, but it's close to what we just did. And then you'll go up diagonally left by 1 and all the way up to the same height. Like so. The back 2 are going to be brought up by 9 stone, or the front 2, excuse me. And then you'll go up diagonally left and then up by, I think it's 4. Yeah. And then for all of these blocks here, for both the stone and smooth quartz, they are the same. You'll just extend each one up by 4. Can't get my fronts and backs confused now. You'll then go up diagonally left. Up 4 again. Up diagonally left and then up by 4 once more. Yay, that rhymed. And it should give you this. Now we can really start to see these walls and things shaping up. Why does that look so... Oh, because that goes further, right? No, it doesn't. I don't know why it looks asymmetrical. Maybe because this side's open and this side isn't. I'm not sure. But I'm going to just get rid of what I have. Not that you necessarily need to. And I'm going to get out magenta concrete. And I want to head over to the, stone stuff here. I'm going to take these smooth quartz just what would be behind this kind of weird angled section. And I'm going to go up diagonally left with a magenta. So it's here. I'm going to extend it forward by 7. I'll then go forward diagonally left. Forward 2. Forward diagonally left. Forward. Forward diagonally left 2. Then forward diagonally right by 2. And we'll stop there. Now, going backwards and around, you want to copy the shape of the previous layer below us. Now, there's one thing I want to point out that's a major exception here as we do this. And it might not actually be what you think, but just kind of follow it and make sure that you don't have the extra blocks on the inside and whatever. One at the end, once you reach that point, there is something that changes. So stop after the curve, like directly after the curve, and I'll kind of explain. However, the middle section here, I'm also going to ignore the light gray and polished tough and just kind of go over it. But let me get there first. Basically, as I fill here, I'll kind of explain what's happening. Is that too far? Nope, that's good. I kind of can just do that where I'll go basically on the end of a block, and you see if I'm in line with the block over, then I'm correct. If I'm further, then it's a problem, and if I'm not, it's if I'm, in line, it's also a problem. But here where you have the stickouts for the elevators, I will bring the magenta out, and I'll actually get out blue terracotta and just like span across the front here with blue terracotta, and then place another magenta there. Bring it back, bring it over. Here where you have the the section in the middle that sticks out, once you're in line with this corner red concrete right here, you're going to end up abandoning ship, not actually, but you're going to still continue across with blue terracotta instead, and then once you reach the opposite corner, you'll place a magenta concrete over it, which is there, and then I'll just keep going again and just make sure that I follow the shape well. And then again, once we reach the far end, we will have another bit of an exception. However, I gotta get there first. So hopefully that's easy enough to understand. I'll show it in more detail once I've actually placed it all. the like weird areas. But yeah, over here you see I'm gonna my Minecraft's gonna stop placing blocks. That's always good. I'll go 2, 2, and then was it 8 or something? It actually is it, yeah, no. 3, and then I'll go 1, 1, 1, and then I'll go 3 here, and then I'll stop at the final diagonal right there. And I'll give you a minute to get to this particular point where you have this lone little block. We don't actually need to go this far though. I figured that would happen, but it's fine. So when you trim down, you're gonna trim down until the rows of 2 here, until you have the like straight line, and then you have you go forward diagonally right, forward diagonally right, and then right. From this point, I will go forward diagonally right again to keep following the shape, and then I'll end up just going from that point all the way left until you're over the green concrete, which should be right there. Nice, you can kind of see how that shapes up. And so, again, you have some weird corners going on here, but that's where you stop on that side. That side we already did, so I'm not worried about that. And you see here for the elevators, I just have the magenta sticking out and then blue terracotta over the center. And then in the actual center, I also have blue terracotta. We can't really fill in the ceiling yet here with the blue terracotta because we don't actually have the... What's it called? I love words. They're good. We don't actually have the walls fully marked enough to be able to do that. So, yeah, I guess we technically could bring up the magenta concrete by 2 rows. We'll start with that. As I debate maybe doing that. Because we technically can. We just would have to cut off in certain spots. But I'm just thinking about it because if we end up waiting, like, it doesn't do anything for us, I guess. Either way, because I'm thinking we need more walls, but we also have all the walls that they're gonna be placed, so there's no point in waiting, I suppose. Waiting on the underside makes more sense since we actually can add walls down there, but up here, I don't really know. There's some weird exceptions and stuff too that we'll have to worry about, because why wouldn't there be? But yeah. And then I don't know if we're gonna mark. I gotta think about it because you know, I am gonna record part 4 as well probably, but I don't know if I want to continue going up after this point, like for part 4, or do I want to work down instead and get the bottom layer done? It might be smarter to build the bottom layer first. Although I'm just thinking about the floor of that section and getting PTSD, so yeah. There's that, I guess. If I could, like, avoid it, it'd be much preferred, but at the same time, I know that's not happening, so. Are there only... Oh, no, never mind. There's 4 access points to this top floor. I guess actually 6, because the elevators, but... Elevators, like, in the middle of a room like that is crazy, by the way. Although I guess both the atrium and lobby have that. We can actually get out glass panes real quick, and I think it makes sense to get these out of the way. You're going to place glass panes on top of that top row of magenta concrete. And again, on the, like, corners here, you want to make sure the glass panes connect. It is going to be weird here, don't really worry about it. Like, you're going to have this kind of going on. But yeah, you just want to make sure you place it within the magenta concrete row, like in the inner corners where there would be a floor eventually, or will be a floor eventually. We just aren't at the point to be filling one in yet. And then, yeah, I think we can fill in the other stuff. And do I want to bring that in? Hold on, let me just see how the glass is on the top here. Where the elevators are. Does it just connect or does it go in as well? It also goes in, so I am going to bring them in along with that top magenta only. Just to give me the glass panes. But that's about all there is to it. Whee! We're getting there. As far as the actual, like, layout stuff. Once we have the main, like, shaping done, it'll be a lot better. It'll take longer, I think, from there, but at the same time, like, it'll be nice to not have to look at giant walls all the time. So, again, underneath the magenta concrete, in line with the bottom row of it, you're gonna want to fill in the ceiling with blue terracotta. Now, obviously, we have points to where you're gonna, like, want to stop. If you have a wall, the wall is that point, pretty much. And that point will end up carrying through a little bit. So the right side is more so the important side, because I know that ends up having a thing where it goes up, and there's something weird that I don't think is actually supposed to be like that. But anyway, you see if I take this point here, I'll go over, and I have this red concrete wall, so I'm just going to fill the blue terracotta so it's one block within this red concrete wall, and then from there, I'll just end up bringing it forward, and... What am I, inside the andesite block? Yeah, so I'm going to stay inside... Do I want to do that? I should make sure that's... Yeah, no, that would actually be correct anyway. So yeah, you can end up keeping going. That is grammar right there. Right? Or is it a block further in here? Sorry, I'm just like trying to figure... Okay, it's actually a block further in on this side, but we're not going to worry about that a ton. Really, if I bring the blue terracotta across, and then eventually I'll go just kind of wrap around the cyan terracotta like that. And then, as I mentioned, I am going to actually add another row on the inside here and take that first one off, at least over the point. So, essentially, if you just wrap around the cyan terracotta here, you'll actually kind of end up in the position. I'll try to remember to make sure that you're correct here on this position, but you see you're the second magenta within the andesite on the point where it goes further out. Hopefully, again, it'll make more sense when we get to that point, but that's like a later point. That's like preparation for sub-lobbies, kind of. But I guess also actually escalators. Because I know there's an escalator over here that pretty much goes up to that point. Oh yeah, that was where my problem was, I think. Maybe it was the other side, or maybe it was... No, I think it was the other side, actually. But it was like the escalators were lining up really oddly. It worked, don't get me wrong, but... It was like the wall... No, it is this side. I can see it, actually. It's the wall on the top floor isn't lined up with the wall below it, so when you see the way the blue, like this ceiling ends up essentially connecting into that, you can tell that they're not in line. It isn't a huge deal. It's not something you'll notice just by looking at it. But if you, like, try to... I mean, at least looking at it from, you know, just walking around the atrium like a normal person. Obviously, if you fly up to it and, like, examine, you'll see. But it's not necessarily something that I would really focus on. I'll show you what I mean when we get there if I remember. Because since I'm thinking about it now, I would presume that I'll remember, but... Anyway, this is taking way too long. Let me pull out my favorite trick, which is literally just slash fill. Nothing crazy about it. So yeah, just keep filling this in. And on the other side, I guess I should mention, just go in line with the, like, middle door. I would really just take the cyan terracotta. Let me just go confirm real quick that is a good plan. Yeah, I mean, you can go further, but what I would really do is just take, like, this outer cyan terracotta row, which is basically what's just in line with the glass, and then just place it there. You could technically do... Well, actually, no, I guess, because the other side doesn't go further, and these sides do. So, yeah, it's up to you, honestly. There's no right or wrong way to go about it. So I am going to slash fill this giant area. And then... Is that where this part will end? What's the other thing I wanted to do? I feel like there was something else that I was like, this should be done in this part. Unfortunately for me, I don't know what that was. So, what was it? Maybe I'm thinking of the top center section. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, it clearly wasn't important enough. It'll all be done eventually, so... Guess I'll just... You know... not think about it. I'm gonna try to get all this. Doesn't matter if I overfill here, because why would it? There we go. There's some sections that would matter, or will, but as far as I'm aware, yeah, because you have lobby on this side, so it won't actually matter, because there's nothing between lobby and atrium, really. Bottom floor, I think, would matter, and top floor might? I'm not even sure on that one. Just trying to think if any of the locations would get interrupted, but I don't know. Oh, one that might is Fazcade, because I think that's lower. Like, the elevator for that goes down, I want to say. It's like down and maybe out a little? I don't remember. Anywho. That'll give you a nice ceiling. Once you're there. Anything else we can do immediately? Yeah, we can actually mark this top section. We might as well. Let's just go a little bit longer. You just need the magenta concrete out of what you have actively. You do also... Actually, you might want to keep the blue terracotta, sorry. But you also want polished black stone stairs. Verdant frog lights. Polished black stone blocks. Block of quartz. And black concrete? Sure. So from either side, we're going to take the magenta concrete bottom ones here, and you're going to extend them out with 4 polished blackstone stairs facing out, which are going to be left or right. You'll then from the front one go in with a stair facing inward, then forward with 2 facing out, in with 1 facing forward, forward with 1 facing out, and then you're gonna go in with 2 facing forward, forward with 1 facing out, we're almost there, I swear, in with 3 facing forward, forward with 1 facing out, and then from either side there, you'll go in with... Is it symmetrical? I gotta make sure first. Yeah, you're gonna go in with 4 stairs facing forward. Then a polished blackstone block. And then you'll end up actually connecting the blocks together with more polished blackstone stairs, at least here. Extend the polished blackstone blocks on either side up by 2, and you want to basically replicate these stairs at the top with upside down stairs. Except not in the center here, between them, you just want to kind of go around the outside. And... yeah. The directions don't necessarily have to be exactly the same, you just have to make sure that you still have that kind of... all the stairs connecting. Hey look, I can see the lobby from here. Price counter will be a fun one, not really, but we can pretend that it'll be fun. That whole loop will be fun. I'm gonna try to do loops as I can, like, together, you know? In between these sets of stairs, you'll place verdant frog lights. I would try to keep all of them facing the same direction, whatever that may be, again. I'm gonna have them all facing up, because why not? But yeah, I want to do L chips next, really. Like, L chips are mazer size, because those two, I think mazer size is done. I know L chips is, but those two, I'm pretty sure they both are done. And I do feel like that'd be a nice one to do, because it's smaller. Daycare won't be for a while. I know I've been having some people asking for it specifically, but I'm not there for it, so. In the center, on top of these polished blackstone stairs, you'll place a row of magenta concrete. You'll then place an alternating row of block of quartz and black concrete. And then on top of all of it, you're placing magenta concrete, which is the checkerboard pattern, and then on top of all these stairs. Only the outer stairs, we're not placing them on those inner corners, because you just don't need to. Should give you this from above. You want to take the step's going to be a bit odd, but you're going to have to trust the process. You want to take the glass panes here on the, like, kind of backside where they're lower a row or in line with the magenta we just placed. You'll connect them together with block of quartz. This little front area in front of it, you'll fill in with more block of quartz. That's just how the floor lines up, so don't ask questions. Almost. Nice. I'll get out glass panes. Sorry, I know I said we wouldn't need them. And you'll place it on each magenta concrete along with, again, those inner corners to connect them all together. There's a Freddy logo on here, but since we're already 45 minutes in, I'm gonna end. Also, or I'm not gonna deal with all that. Also, the gnat just keeps, like, flying by every couple minutes. I don't... What is this guy doing? The bottom of this you'll fill in with blue terracotta. Like so. That's pretty good. We, like, almost doubled our progress, although I guess we didn't get any walls up there, but to get that all laid out and filled in is definitely a huge step in the right direction. Especially as we deal with such a big room. But anyway, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Security Breach Atrium Part 3 complete. Yeah, that's pretty good. I really can't complain with that. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, hopefully next part we're going to probably get that Freddy logo on there. And then maybe deal with escalators so we can get the bottom floor marked out soon. But I think it's probably going to be mostly escalators because those will take a while. And also maybe the elevators if I have time, but can't really guarantee that. Anyway, that's enough rambling. With that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.